What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wednesdays with Wes, and here is the part 2 of my how-to animation. So today I'm going to show you how I actually do my animation to get like the visual effect of animation. So I am in the software called Clip Studio Paint. I don't think it's a free software, but it might be. However, other art and animation softwares are pretty similar to this, so you can probably follow my steps to a pretty similar rate, in my opinion. Alright, so there's two ways that I like to do my animation. Let's start with a simpler way that would be good for beginners. Alright, so you want to hit File, New, and let's do an illustration first. The first way that I like to do my animation is a bunch of pictures stitched together, so while it's like not really like animated, it's more like, oh, okay, it's a bunch of pictures together that are well drawn and good to go. Alright, so let's name this one Animation How to Test. Now, I didn't write a script for this one according to my older steps because this is just a simple thing that I'm going to show you. It doesn't take too long to do this. Alright, we are in our workspace. So your first step is to probably make a background. Yeah, you should probably want to make a background first, but I'm not going to make a background because I just like to have a blank and white. So the second step will be to make your first drawing that you want to animate. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get drawing. This is a part where you should probably have some practice sketches done beforehand, and I'm going to get drawing. Now I'm going to fast forward this part to make the time shorter. So here we go. So now that we've finished our beautiful drawing that we just happen to have right here, this is the process I like to call duplicating and then editing. So what we're going to do is File, then hit Save Duplicate, save it as a JPEG in this scenario, and we're going to save it as just that. Yeah, okay. And now it might ask layer information cannot be maintained if you save layer this format. Do you want to proceed? You want to hit yes because we want it to be a still image. And now that we've saved that, we have this picture we have right here is saved. So now we can edit this picture with the fancy tool called the lasso tool. So I'm going to go ahead and just like move his hands a little bit. Take that, just move it up a little bit, curve it, hit OK. Do the same for this one. Again, move it up, turn it, and then we can make him say something, just like put a little mouth area next to him. Let's change our color back to black. And then we can make his mouth a little bit bigger and just be like, well, excuse me. Sorry, technical difficulties. We'll get back to our pen, and we can just go ahead and do this. Make his mouth a little bit bigger so that he's saying something. There we go. And now our little dude is speaking. And then we would just save a duplicate for this one too. And then bada bang, bada boom, that's the process. You just keep on making your different images, saving duplicates, adding the pictures, and then you can just do all that. And that is the first way of the picture animation process I like to do. Now let's say you want a really in-depth animation. Well, in this software, we want to go to File, New, and Animation. So this part right here is where you can like resize it, and in order to make it widescreen, you're going to want to change your settings to what the original illustration settings are. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these into this format real quick. There we go. 2560 and 1400. And there we go. So now we have our perfect widescreen animation image. I'm going to say just animation how to test as well. There we go. So now we are in our animation space. You might notice this little bar down here, right down here where my mouse is moving around. This is called the frame bar, where everything we draw, like different frames, will be saved all down here. So what we're going to first want to do is make our original drawing. I'm going to make a little animation of a guy waving his hand. So let's just draw our little guy real quick. I'm going to speed it up. So here we have our little guy with his pretty big hand. So now what we're going to want to do is go over here to this part over here. I'm going to enlarge it a little bit. This part right here that says number 1 on it. We're going to want to right click on it to pull up this little menu. And now in this little menu, we're going to want to hit duplicate layer. So now we have the layer duplicated. Now, you see how we have this like 1 and 3 and 5? We're going to click on number 2 when you hover over it. It's right next to number 1 and 3. Click on that. We're going to hit this little icon down here. If I can see if I can enlarge it. This little icon right here with the little chain on it. It says specify cells. We're going to hit that. And then we're going to hit number 2. We'll want to repeat this process later when we're animating. It'll be number 3 instead of 2. So boom, now we've duplicated the layer, which means if we didn't duplicate the layer, if we were to draw on the second one, it would also draw on the first one too. We don't want that to happen because then it would just be the same picture throughout the entire thing. And we do not want that. So now we have our little guy here, and we're going to turn on this little thing called onion skin. This enables that if we like erase something, so like let's say I wanted to like take my eraser or something, or like move something around, the blue part was the part that was in the last part. I just undid that real quick. So now we can take our little lasso tool if we want to again. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to put it around this guy's hand. And now we can make him wave a little bit. So let's move it just a slight bit to there. Let's curve it a little bit. And then we have our second frame of our animation. So then again, we're going to go over here, duplicate the second layer this time though, number 2, go over to number 3, specify the cell as number 3, and then we want to repeat the process until your animation is complete. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this animation. Sort of curve it, move it down a little bit. And then, for extra fun, which I'm going to do, if you want to go back to, like, let's say number 2 that we had back here, because my guy's just going to be waving a little bit, if I want to go back and forth without redrawing it, I can easily just go back to specify cells and say number 2, and boom, number 2 is right there, and then we can say number 1. And then we just continue to do that if you wanted that for your hand animation. So now we can click on number 1 and hit the play button to see how it looks. Look at that, he's waving at us. In fact, you can even make your animation shorter or longer by adjusting these blue bars. However, you only go up to about 25 frames before your art software might disable that. I don't know why it's like that, it just is. But now let's make it shorter for our little hand animation, so it's only 5 frames long. Look, we got a little guy waving. He's so cool. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and look forward for Wednesdays with Wes in the future. Bye guys.